There we go. Ha ha. Ha ha
Hey,
ha.
Oh, this morning.
Oh yeah, we were not prepared today.
Barker.
So
Oh goodness.
I wanna take a second and apologize for number one, all the technical difficulties this morning, and number two, we said at on the last stream that we would post to YouTube in a couple of days, and I realized that I'm an idiot and I didn't have recording set up properly. So that being said, I am now recording, hopefully through Twitch and through Streamlabs, crossing my fingers that I didn't screw up this time, so I apologize.
You probably did.
Okay.
Anybody new to the stream today, welcome. This is the HSR NERDCAST. We have Habs and Hikatori, we have Simmons, and we have myself, the Great Rex. HSR standing for Health, Stamina, Regen, where we appreciate just as much as you do. So I think as for me and Simmons's docket today, we've got some fun news to talk about.
Preview, hint, hint.
Yes, and I'm interested to see what everybody else has to talk about.
Yeah, because they were talking about it yesterday, and I was asking
Yeah.
what they were going to talk about,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't tell me. So I'm an angry individual.
Rather to be angry, Simmons. Just chill out.
No,
Be
I
okay.
refuse. I refuse.
You'll
Okay.
be all right.
It's gonna make for a real long day. So I'm not angry this early.
So
I'm ready for it. Trust me.
I'll start off. Between our last podcast and this podcast, I finished the Witcher series on Netflix. Holy crap, that was amazing.
The only thing I
Cannot
know of
wait.
Witcher is from Shadowverse.
I mean, I am fully head on into the second. When the second season comes out, I'm ready. I get that Game of Thrones vibe from it that I really
But better.
enjoyed. Yeah, but it's much better.
Much better. Oh, God.
It really is. It took me a really long time to spoiler alert, realize that the timeline is told in two different parts throughout the whole first season.
Three.
What?
Just told in 3 different parts.
Oh, yeah. Well, and two different points in time, isn't it?
3.
Is it 3?
So you have the Yennefer stuff, which is like the very beginning of stuff. Then you have the actual Witcher stuff with Geralt. Those kind of mix and match, but it starts off. Yennefer's timeline is the oldest, and then Geralt's timeline, and then I can't think of her name now, but the little girl,
Yeah, the little girl.
Ciri or whatever.
I didn't. So I didn't totally realize. I totally did not realize that the Yennefer timeline was separate. I thought that was happening the same time as Geralt's initial journeys.
Not quite, but close. I mean, they're
Yeah.
pretty close. But they basically what they did was they took the entire first book
Mm-hmm.
because technically Ciri, is it her name Ciri? I can't remember, the little girl.
That sounds close enough. If it's wrong, anyone who knows and cares will correct it. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. Post it in the comments below or in Twitch, over in chat
Yeah.
if you're viewing it live. But her timeline, her story doesn't actually really kick in until the start of the second book. So what they did for the first season was they took the first book and the first part of the second book and just smushed them together to get everything set so that the second season could start in an active timeline with all 3 characters.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Like it took me I watched the series twice before I understood what was going on.
Yeah, I watched. So I watched the first couple episodes, and then there was like a couple of them that I fell asleep for, and then I went back and rewatched them, and like once, you know, because like, oh, I can't miss, you know, this is a very story driven, like there's stuff if I miss, I'm not going to be able to figure it out. Well, I was completely lost.
Oh, yeah.
Like I was like this, wait a second. And I got to a point where the point where in the first, I don't know, was it 3 or 4 episodes where they they crossed over, like you could, where you officially, like the point was to tell you that, hey, this, you know, it's different timelines. I was like, wait, what? I like that. How is that? I thought that person was dead. So I went back and I was like, but wait a minute, they look slightly different. So maybe it's not the same person. So I went back and rewatched from episode 1 to that point, and then it dawned on me, like, oh, yeah. And
for me.
Ham's got a really long message from me about that. Oh, holy crap! I just realized.
Just got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for me, that episode was 4. I think it was 4 where they were where Geralt was escorting the bard Yaskier to the ball. And
yes.
It's like, oh.
Yeah.
Porcupine Man.
Mm-hmm.
But they allude to all of that happening, her sister dying and Porcupine Man dying, or at least being lost. We don't know if they're dead or not. In the first episode, which is like, the whole thing was done really, really well.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge Superman fan from Henry Cavill, but he did a great job with Geralt.
But he did a great job as the Man of Steel as well.
I'm just not a big Superman fan.
That's fair.
So I never actually watched the movie.
I don't think I've seen that movie either.
Did you watch Batman v Superman or the what was it, Justice League?
I'll be right back. I'm sorry. Keep going. I got a phone call I gotta take.
Always.
Yourself. Oh,
Yourself,
Parker. Got it.
There he goes. Got him. I guess it wasn't all that important.
My dad picked up at the same time, so.
Okay. Cool.
Boy,
You didn't mute yourself, by the way.
What's that?
You didn't mute yourself, by the way.
Oh, oops.
It's
I think
all good.
I think I muted myself on stream though.
I don't remember, but yeah. So I never actually watched. I'm just not a Superman fan in general. Like, I don't know. There's just something about. I'm completely indestructible except for this tiny green rock. I don't know.
I mean, but he's an alien technically.
I know.
He's like a symbol of hope.
Yes.
So is Batman.
No matter what he goes through, he will always succeed.
So will Batman.
Batman is a darker version of hope.
It's so much better.
True until you get to the Injustice timeline.
Oof, Injustice. He's a murderer.
Yes. He becomes an overlord of Earth.
Yeah.
I really feel like that would make for an interesting movie, like
What? Injustice?
the Injustice timeline. Yeah.
You should play the Injustice fighting games. Just the storyline of them, and they're both really, really good.
I think I have Injustice.
I haven't.
You have to get Injustice too.
Yeah, I think I have it.
Well, Gods Among Us, I think.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
Yeah, play the story.
I think I did.
That follows the comic series quite well.
I mean,
Just follows the fights.
yeah.
Well, no. More than that.
I can't remember
All
if I
about
finished
fighting.
it or not.
This world is all about.
It is. It is. But that's human nature.
I mean,
Just a bunch of hairless monkeys.
yeah.
Yep.
We just have to
I don't know.
communicate slightly better.
Some of us are a little hairier than others.
Yeah, I mean,
But compared to a monkey, most of us are not.
yeah, this is
That's
true.
fair. That's fair.
Do you think if monkeys understood haircuts that they would get them?
That's a very.
Monkeys don't have hair that grows as long as ours.
This is true.
That's a very off-topic.
I mean, it's
offshoot there. Okay.
I mean,
All right. So jumping back to Witcher. Have you played the Witcher games at all?
I haven't, no.
Oh man.
But
So-
I'm.
I played 1 and 2. I have not played the third one.
Are they
Dude.
on Steam?
They
Yes.
are. I'm gonna recommend that you instead watch like full playthroughs, which will take probably as long
Oh.
as it took you to watch the series.
Yep.
Because they are,
Very long games.
Stop it.
well, that and they're very old.
Well, Witcher 3 is not that old, but Witcher
No,
1 and
Witcher
2
1 and
have
2.
some of the worst controls for a video game of all time.
They were
They
great
are-
for back in the day. They
Yeah.
worked, but they
They
are
are.
very untraditional controls, and you will get very frustrated with them. So-
Actually, Rex, I think you will get more frustrated with those controls than you did when you were trying to play Lords of the Fallen.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna recommend a Twitch streamer / YouTube channel, Carnage, Cohh Carnage.
Put it in chat.
He has full playthroughs of 1 and 2.
All right.
But the stories alone are definitely worth the watch.
Yeah, no, they're fantastic games, fantastic stories. I'd recommend now that you've watched the series that you go back and watch the games. They're probably, I mean, easily 100 parts or more each, but he
Mhm.
breaks them down into half-hour sessions.
Okay.
If that tells you anything.
Yeah.
But they're really, really good.
Does he
He
do?
does-
Does he do a lot of yapping in them, or?
Yeah, I mean, they very much are just stream highlights.
Oh,
They
okay.
break into 30-minute sections, but he does a really good job of when a cutscene is happening, he doesn't say anything. He does a good job of trying to let the story roll out,
Okay.
play out. So give it a shot. If you don't like it, that's fine. Just
Yeah.
find someone else that maybe does like a full playthrough with no commentary or anything. There's lots of those out there too.
Yeah.
But now that you've seen the series, you should really go back and watch the games because they're really, really good. And then maybe
wonder-
just
There's gotta
play Wild Hunt.
There's got to be somebody out there that has a cut of just the story stuff. I would have to imagine.
Probably.
People do that all the time. So you can watch a video game like you would a movie.
All the cutscenes and
Yeah.
But you kind of miss a little bit if
lot
you're
of
only
the
watching the
story in an
cutscenes.
RPG like that though is actual like interaction between NPCs.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, Dave, imagine how much you would have missed on the storyline if all you did was get the cutscenes of Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Oh, that would have been awful.
Yeah.
Because there were like there's very few cuts. Oh no, there's quite a bit actually. It's been a while since I played it. Love it.
Yeah, no. To think about it, if I tried to watch just the cutscenes in, what is that game? Why can't I think of it? I just had it on the tip of my tongue.
Myself. What was it, a month ago or two? You were playing through the new Tomb Raider.
Yeah, so I still
Imagine
gotta
if
play
you
that.
only watched the cutscenes of that.
Yeah, that would be quite difficult.
So, I recommend trying to watch just a full actual playthrough. He does a really good job. They're broken into 30-minute episodes, so you can just watch a few of them at a time, and
Mhm.
and it doesn't lose very much. So,
Yeah.
I would recommend it if you really, really want to play through it. They are great games. They're from the early 90s.
Yeah.
They're not from the early 90s?
Late 90s. They're old. I don't
You know,
remember
we
what
have
year
a
they came out.
wonderful repository of knowledge.
Yep. Hey, I'm not looking anything up, man.
Uh,
I don't know.
so
They came out
07
20.
Yeah.
is The
Was
Witcher.
it 07? Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair. They feel like they came from the early 90s.
They do not at all.
I
I-
came from the early '90s. Does
Honestly-
it feel like me?
Yes, it does.
Honestly, I'm interested to see as to like how they make him in on the series into the old Witcher. Because I feel like they did an alright job him being young and doing, being as a younger man with like visually, like, alright, he's not that far off, but as the games progressed, like as he got much older, there was a big change in the way that they made him look, and obviously that has a lot to do with the improving graphics engines and different things like that, and causing that. I'm interested to see how they handle that progression in what he looks like.
The Netflix series.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested too. It's a long way away though. They've got a lot of story to tell before it gets there. So, if
Well,
it even gets there, we don't know how far they're going to go with it.
yeah. I think more people as more people join in, as more that we talk about it, and like, you know, I'll like I tell people who aren't even into video games, or are kind of weary that, oh, it's a video game, it's a movie show about a video game. Yes, but this is, like, I was just telling one of my coworkers, I was like, have you seen The Witcher? And he's like, no, I don't tend to watch shows or movies made of video games. I'm like, watch it. It's very
And it's
Game of Thrones vibe to it.
It's also more real. It's more accurate to the books than it is the video game.
Yeah, they are literally based off of the books, not the games.
Which an argument could be made that it should be closer to the Witcher video games because it was more the video games that brought the Witcher to where it is today. But
yeah,
well, that's something that they harken back to. You can tell a stark comparison with Jaskier's name, because in the games it's, I forget, what is it, Daisy or something, that his name is in the games, but they use the traditional naming from the books for him in the series. So yes, there are games out there that tell a very similar story, but the show is explicitly based off of the books, which is, I mean,
yeah.
Lord of the Rings did the same thing.
Yeah,
which,
because the content's there.
I appreciate it.
With a book, if you're following the storyline of a book, the book is, you're creating those visuals in your mind, they don't require that outside input. The video game, to make it fun, they have to do things to number one.
They have to take away your imagination in order to make it work.
Yes, exactly.
It's a fair thing to do, but you can't. Oh, he walked into this dark room that smelled of mustiness, and he heard us. Yeah, you can't do that in a video game and expect people to have fun.
Yeah.
Simmons,
I looks
Whoa.
like freaking out.
not.
Wowza. Oh, there, we should all be back. Everybody back?
Yeah. Ooh.
Today has been the day of freaking technical difficulties.
We know what it is.
Oh, okay. I think it's back.
Yep.
I think Discord freaked out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Discord.
We know what's required to make this better. And to quote Mazda, zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, I know, but we go over 40 minutes, and I don't want to have to constantly restart the call. Yeah. So.
That's fair. Hey, we're back anyway. So,
Yeah.
what was your favorite part of the?
Would this happen on a peer-to-peer connection if we were like on a call together?
I don't know.
I don't know.
No. Nope. It works better when you're actually talking directly to each other.
Oh, well, maybe
Perhaps
we'll do
that's
that.
something to do in the future.
Yep. My favorite part of it?
Yeah. What was your favorite part of the series?
Honestly, I liked it so much that I don't have one specific favorite part. Like, it was because it was captivating the whole way through, that it's like I can't just pick a part. If I had if I had to, I would not tell you on stream. I would not want to spoil it for anybody.
Rex, I'm
cop out.
pretty sure that everybody in the world has seen this before you that's interested in seeing it.
Oh, all right. Well,
But that's fine. That's fine. I respect it.
You're
I
kind of
respect
late
it.
to the party on that regard.
I know what my favorite part was.
Yeah.
I am a bard.
Of course. Freaking yes, yeah.
No, if
Dude, no. Can we not sing that song though ever? Because that song gets stuck in my head for weeks at a time.
It's a good thing. Like, I heard it, it was a good jingle, and I can't remember it. So
Good.
I'm so happy about that.
It gets,
I'm gonna have to find it and send it to you now, Mike.
so that being said, my favorite part is the whole section with the dragon.
Oh yeah, that was amazing.
I
figured it out as soon as he started talking about how rare they were. I kind of figured it out, which kind of spoiled a little bit for myself. I was like, oh, but the way that they handled it was really, really good. I really liked it.
I didn't figure that part out. I was just thinking, I was like, oh, maybe there is some sort of, tie-in between him and the dragon stuff. Like maybe he's a hunter or something like that, he's gonna turn and effectively, be worse, and then he was going to have to be killed. But that whole scene was, or that whole episode was fantastic.
Yeah, that was a great episode. I gotta say though, I'm very partial to the way that they ended the season. That whole scene with the battle scene with what Yennefer did, and then the very end where they almost left you on a huge cliffhanger. And maybe it's just like the fact that I hate being left on cliffhangers, but
Yeah.
the fact that they completed that was just,
Yeah.
they didn't leave me wondering, are they going to find each other 5 minutes apart?
Well, and speaking of the end, I enjoyed the fact that at the end they were like, yes, there is going to be a season 2. It is going to happen. I'm like, thank you.
There was a rumor though that they were not going to bring Henry Cavill back though.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen.
I really hope that doesn't happen, because that would just be like Altered
It's a
Carbon.
continuity error.
Yeah.
It's a continuity
And
problem.
he did
But
so
they
good.
could follow a different Witcher. That's the thing.
They could. They're not going to.
No, I mean, that's they could,
He
but
is
that's
the Witcher.
yeah.
Well, I felt the same way about Altered Carbon with what's his name as the lead in the first season, and then they brought in Mackie.
Yeah,
And
I
I just had a hard time getting behind season 2.
yeah,
Like,
I stopped
you went
halfway
from this-
through.
You went from this really cool, calm, collected individual who thought out everything to this emotional wreck.
Mm-hmm. And
Oh.
really, it shouldn't.
Peter Parker style.
It really shouldn't have been. You're right, Abs. It really shouldn't have been that way, because the with Altered Carbon, the person doesn't change. The actor can change,
Right.
but the
But he,
person.
The
He
character
took
is
nothing
Yeah.
that the other actor did and used it. He made it his
Yeah.
own. But for a series like that, it just doesn't work as well.
No. So yeah, I stopped about halfway through the season
Joel
on Altered
Kimmelman.
2.
Joel Kimmelman.
Oh. Season 2 of that, and I was like, meh. And then I went back to try to watch where I was in just a couple of days ago, and I was like, I remember what's happening, but on the same note, I stopped watching. I was like, this is just meh.
I'm gonna recommend just force yourself to watch through it because the ending's decent enough. But
I don't think I can.
It's definitely not as. You look like you want to say something, Nikki.
No, I've never watched the series, so I have nothing to
really?
say.
Okay.
I was just laughing.
It's just not as refined as the first season was.
Yeah. And I mean,
I'll tell you
honestly, the
what.
first season, you can watch the first season, I think, without the second season and be fine not watching
Oh,
the second
100%.
season.
I bet the second season of that series is better than the second season of Firefly.
You know what? You know what, Hickey?
Wait,
Sorry,
hey,
said
we
I wasn't going
can't
to.
be
He
doing
deserved
that. We can't be doing that. Come on.
He was putting time out.
I said I wasn't going to do that, but he deserved every moment of that. And I
I've never
guarantee-
even seen Firefly.
That's a damn shame. It's really
Yeah,
good.
it is really good.
Oh man,
I don't really watch TV
Western.
shows.
me either.
I know what it is.
It's Space Cowboys.
In fact, this is one you should actually introduce your son to. It is really good.
Actually,
No, he'll be
he
disappointed.
he might actually really, really, really like Dollhouse.
I've never
Sounds.
seen that.
What? Oh, another Joss Whedon. So it is not fully fledged out, but basically what it is these people they're like brain is literally wiped, and then different personalities are for like the rich and famous. They pay for a personality. It's like an escort service, but you pay for the personality and the person. So every time they come back, their mind is wiped, and so basically, you know, they're basically, you know, paid slaves for an amount of time, and you ship them back, and they all live it, and they're, you know, and they can basically be programmed to do anything. So, you know, you want, you know, we'll be nice and call it the girlfriend experience. They can pay for that. If you want an international assassin, you can pay for that.
Interesting.
Kind of crazy.
And it does kind of go into that international assassin type thing.
And he brings back Summer Glau.
Yes. Yep. It is a fantastic series. I mean, I would
Check it out.
yeah.
10 out of 10 would watch again.
10 out of 10 probably would watch again.
Nice.
So
The
speaking
sentence.
of shows want to watch again, when is season 3 of Yellowstone?
Father's Day. So
So then I have to wait 8 months until it hits Amazon so I can buy
yeah.
it.
I figure I'm gonna wait for the first couple episodes and then watch like 3 in a row type of thing. That's how I'm gonna do it.
Nice.
So
So moving away from TV, because we could talk all day
Yeah.
on this, like for
Really?
hours and hours and
Yes.
hours. News in game development. Did you see Star Citizen has reached $300 million in backing?
Scam.
That is insane.
That is insane.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, if you look at the chart for this year, we are nearly on. It is nearly on parity for last year
For how much they made?
for how much they've made.
Yeah.
We're. I'd say by the end of July, middle of August, we will be on parity if this rate continues. I don't know what changed because I haven't seen many concepts for it this
People
year.
were out of work.
It's been all the way through January. From
Right.
January. So before the lockdown.
People have still been out of work since January.
I don't know.
But the funding has just been absolutely insane. This week was Alien Week, and I have had this tab open since Alien Week started, and
You have a problem.
Dude, I do, because I could go from a Hawk, which I really don't ever see me using, to a Banu Defender for the rule of cool for $100.
Talk
It's
about
so
an expensive
tempting.
hobby.
Yeah.
It's
so
people like
tempting.
you that is the reason it's at 300 million.
Yeah.
I know. But I have
Actually,
not
that's not true. I think
Well,
the
like Sigismund.
average.
I
I
just
think the
Yeah,
average
Sigismund,
per
oh, man.
backer has dropped.
I just
over
want
the last
Squadron
bit.
42. They just
That's
need
what that's getting close.
like that. If that comes out, that will reinforce my
They have to produce something.
yes, exactly. Like
Which is fair.
right now, you can sit in beta all day long or alpha or whatever the heck they're in, and okay, I've seen so many games not come out of test phase be wonderfully fledged out, like playable games, which this is,
Never.
but
They
never
never
come to never come to fruition. And I just once a story comes out, once Squadron 42 comes out, I am all right. Maybe they're serious. They've given me something. At that point,
That's fair.
Just waiting for them to fledge everything out and be out of alpha so that we can more easily cooperate and I can fly more ships.
The new launcher, well, not necessarily launcher, but the new in-game interface makes playing together way easier. You actually you log in, you actually have your friends list there now. You can invite them right from the friends list. There's a little box that comes up at the bottom that actually will say, "Do you want to join this party?" Instead of this whole thing that pops up on your screen, hit left or right bracket. So it's a much better interface menu now.
Does it work more consistently too?
Yes.
I was trying to use it during Free Flight Week, so no.
Yeah.
But that's because the servers were getting destroyed.
Reports from the community is yes, it does work better than the others.
Cool. Well, once it gets out of alpha phase, maybe I'll go back to flying ships.
Okay.
Because that is the most enjoyable part of that for me is
The
flying
only thing
around.
stopping me right now is I don't want to set up my HOTAS and I can't fly with a mouse.
Oh, I use an Xbox controller to fly.
Well, they do in the demos too, so I can't really.
It works really well.
You know what? I'm gonna be good, Dave, everybody. I am very much closing out this tab.
Oh,
Good.
snap.
I don't wanna.
It's the end of the week though, right? So it's over? That's a
I can't
reaction.
Click. I can't click.
Oh, God.
Yes, you can. It's called move your index finger down slightly.
It's really hard. Alright, it's closed.
Oh, man.
Whew, that hurt. That hurt so much.
I knew you liked drama.
So then the other thing I was going to bring up is who is buying a mini fridge and who is buying a Wi-Fi router?
I
Next
want to know.
generation
Oh, I just
So Parker, I sent you a link a little while ago.
yes,
Can you pull that up on the stream so people can see exactly what I'm
I
talking
can't
about?
remember, where did you send me that?
Discord.
Was it Discord?
Yep.
I might have.
Oh, no, he won't be able to.
Yeah. Here, let
I
me
think
see.
it's-
I think s-
Put the
Oh
link
no,
in
you
chat.
will not be able to. Hold on. Can I share my screen?
here, give me a second.
That's-
Send it to me. Send it to me on Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah,
Alright.
and I'll just drag.
There you go.
Okay. The tab over. So, I realized when you just said it, I was like, who's?
I actually like the aesthetics of the box, but I don't like the alien feel of it.
So here, Sony took a huge risk with this style and design.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. I actually really like it.
Yeah.
But what I really like about the Xbox One is if they do what Apple did with their old cylindrical
The trash can.
Yeah, the trash can, but have that really powerful fan on the bottom, really powerful fan on the top. There's never going to be a cooling issue.
They've learned from the
I
360.
think you underestimate the Xbox.
Somebody I watched a YouTube video. Somebody, I can't remember if it was Linus or Jay's 2 cents. They actually got to take one of those apart.
The new Xbox?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
That can be cool to check out.
You can link that.
Give me a second here.
Definitely something to check out after the podcast here. While he's working on that, to answer your question, I'm probably gonna get the Wi-Fi router.
I am probably going to get the mini fridge.
Reason being,
If I get the mini fridge, I still have an Xbox One that sits on my desk on my entertainment center.
I'm here at Microsoft.
yeah,
So
The games that I want to play, they've started doing Xbox Anywhere, so I can just buy it on my PC.
yep.
So what's really, really cool is that new SSD technology that's
Which I find
PlayStation's gonna have.
Linus finally
Yep.
explained it after being completely embarrassed, which was actually kind of nice. So,
Yeah.
Yep.
for anyone who doesn't know, it's basically another memory cache, slightly slower, with a direct path to the CPU. So it has the ability to dynamically load in environments, which means environments can be much larger without needing as much RAM and without needing as much overhead for the storage system. And they'll actually be able to stream in assets from the hard drive, the SSD, similar to the way they would do with memory. So they'll load what they absolutely need in memory, and then they'll load what they're going to think they need, and they'll just leave what they think they need in the cache, which they'll be able to stop doing levels in blocks, and they'll be able to then condense down large games, which are now like 100 gigs, to less, because they won't have to have duplicate access in each one of those blocks. They'll just be able to stream what they need off the drive.
So the Sony comes with that custom SSD, which you just described, but there's also an expandable NVMe slot on there as well, so you can add your own hard drive to it. That is awesome. So now
That is nice.
Samsung's building out this 8 terabyte NVMe drive. You got all the storage in the world, and you don't have to worry about the 250 gigs that Modern Warfare takes up.
Oh,
The other thing is the speed that they said is completely theoretical. What they expect to get is closer to, say, I think it was like 2 RAID 0 PCIe 4.0 SSDs so I think that's the speed they expect to get instead of the like 3 of them.
not bad.
It's still fast, and if it could very well change the way we think about SSDs, the way we use them.
Well,
Because
this almost reminds me of like what Intel tried to do with Optane technology initially, back when they first designed that.
it's still in the works. They still want to stick an Optane slot or an Optane DIMM in a memory slot, which is a permanent memory.
Yep.
It's not. It doesn't. When the power goes away, you don't lose what's in memory. But it would allow you to have terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of memory that is relatively fast, maybe not as fast as system, but you would also be able to take system and turn it on instantaneously.
Mm-hmm.
Technology is moving forward very quickly, and it's
Yeah.
pretty exciting.
Yes, it
Yes,
is.
it is.
Oh, I can't wait for Zen 3 to come out.
Boo.
Why? Because I'm moving away from Intel.
No, do what you want.
I'm guessing. I'm just throwing this out there. Something tells me that with Zen 3 going from 2.5 to 3, there's going to be at least a 25% performance increase from that. I'm hoping, because AMD's just been kicking ass with CPUs lately.
Yeah.
If only they could get their video card game back online.
They're starting to, like, on the marketing side of things, they're starting to turn into Intel. They're starting to become what they despised.
No, because they did the half step from Zen 2 to Zen 2.5, going from the Ryzen 2000 to 3000 series. Incremental increases.
But it's expected. When you're on top, you don't play your best card.
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping that Intel gets it in gear.
Well, the guy who was hired to turn everything around just resigned. So now Intel needs to find somebody else to, lead the processor development team because they haven't gotten out of 14 nanometer yet. They're still working with that.
Yeah, they're still working with 14 nanometer. 10 nanometer is in Coffee Lake,
Okay.
which is currently like mobile processors only right now.
Okay.
And it looks like
Names they give these things.
looks like they're going to have the 7 nanometer process working for desktop before they get 10 nanometer working for desktop, so it may be skipped entirely. They had problems with the processes, really.
Well, I think the other issue is like AMD said screw it, and they went down to what are they at right now? Is it 7 nanometer?
I think they're at 7, yeah.
Yeah. So they made their processors physically larger. Intel is refusing to actually make their processors physically larger, which I think is actually hurting them.
Well, the other thing that AMD did, it's not that it's really larger.
It physically is. It's like
it is physically larger, but that's not when you're putting 64 cores on a CPU, it needs to get bigger. You just don't have the space, but it's modules. So it's I think like the 64 one is built of 4 12-core. No. Yeah, it's like built of modules of the CPU rather than it being one solid die, which was what Intel was doing.
okay.
Up until recently, they've started with other processors, particularly their ARM. They're designing a processor similar to the way the ARM processors are designed, where it's again modules that you stick together to get what you want out of the processor, rather than a general purpose. Hey, here's this one die that is capable of doing everything you need, or to an okay degree, rather than here's a bespoke module to handle your encoding. Here's a bespoke module to handle your graphics processing.
Right.
Everything was in a single package. Now
Sorry-
it's
sorry,
now it's
I-
different modules stuck together.
Took a minute. I did post the link to the video in chat. It was not Linus. It was Austin Evans, and he does a complete teardown of it. And
Nice.
so obviously, you can tell they have to be working with Corsair on this, because based off of what I saw, it looks like the Corsair 1. So the Corsair 1 is the same PC form factor built in a tower. Like, and if they're not, then if they're not directly working from them, they're heavily influenced by it. But yeah, that video is worth a watch. Because it does, like I said, he takes the whole thing apart, which is freaking awesome.
Yeah, I'll definitely be checking that out.
For sure. So what about you, Rex? What are you looking at getting?
You know what? I might not get either. I might actually just leave it alone.
And not go console at all.
Yeah. All I use my console for is Netflix now.
But Demon's Souls and Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
Not called Horizon Zero Dawn 2. It's Horizon something or other.
Yeah. Okay. You get the point. Okay.
No, I don't. What's the point?
You stick it with the pointy end.
By the way, it's together now.
Oh,
Does it work? Demo it.
It does.
Demo it.
It's a little sticky. I
Well,
lose on the input shaft, but
you you know, you're supposed to clean up afterwards before you start making things.
Well, there. So it's in first gear now. Come on, catch. It's in second
Yeah,
gear.
tiny transmission.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
He
Third
3D
gear,
printed the whole
fourth
thing.
gear, and then
Yeah, I know.
I'm super jealous. I want a 3D printer so bad.
Yep.
I'm gonna have to figure out how I can lubricate this, and
I would say
I'll-
probably soap would be your best.
I was thinking because people print with like vegetable oil,
Oh well.
they lubricate the filament with
Yeah,
vegetable
but vegetable oil when it starts to dry out gets super sticky.
Yeah.
I know that because somebody told me to use it in my fucking paintball guns as a replacement oil, and that was the worst
gun oil.
thing I've ever had to do.
for your paintball
Yeah.
guns. Use gun oil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned that afterwards, Dave.
Gun oil is meant to like be in that situation, get dirty, stay clean, kind of thing.
Yeah, it was awful the amount of scrubbing I had to do.
I believe you. So speaking of Demon Souls, there is a bit of a spoiler. I'm gonna have to spoil for you, Habs, because I want to talk about the future of it and how
I don't know if I agree to be here anymore.
it looks. So you haven't watched the trailer, right?
I have not.
You should
I've
at least watch the
tried to
trailer.
avoid everything visually, conceptually about
You've-
it because when I buy it, I just want to be like mind blown.
You've played the first one, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So the trailer that they showed is literally just the same trailer in modern graphics.
Oh really?
So you won't spoil anything outside of how pretty it is if you watch the trailer. It spoils nothing. They did a side-by-side comparison, a video I watched, and it's literally the same trailer, just with up-to-date graphics.
All right,
But
okay.
here's the thing.
You're gonna need to send that over.
Okay, I will. I'm just gonna send you the regular trailer, though. I'm not gonna send you the side-by-side stuff.
I want
'Cause-
this side by side.
Well, you can find that yourself. But
Wow, way to be.
What a guy.
the thing is, it's not being so it's a full remake. It's not a remaster. It's a full remake, but it's not being done by From Software.
Okay, so is it the same guys that did the Dark Souls 1 remaster?
No,
And you
It's
said this is
being
a remake, right?
remake. It's a remake,
Oh,
rebuilt from the ground up.
okay.
So the company that's doing it is pretty successful with overall remakes. It's being done by Blue Point Interactive.
What else have they done?
So most recently, Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay, that was a huge success.
Yeah, and I have some of their stuff pulled up. They've been around since 2006.
Okay.
They've done mostly ports of games. They developed, originally in 2006, they developed a game called Blast Factor, which I've never seen or heard of. But some of the stuff that they've done, they've remastered ports of the God of War and God of War 2 games. Ico and the original Shadow of the Colossus for their collector edition, they did that back in 2011. Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and Peace Walker, they remastered ports for. Titanfall, they did the port of the original game.
Nice.
They've done the remastered ports of all of the original Uncharted series.
Okay.
So obviously not Uncharted 4, the new one, but 1, 2, and 3 they did the port for. And then of course Shadow of the Colossus. A couple other games in there that I don't know if you've heard of or not, like Gravity Rush and Flower, but
I know Gravity Rush.
yeah, so they remastered the port of Gravity Rush too. So, or I guess it's Blue Point Games, not Interactive, but they're in charge of the remake. So I think it's gonna be really, really, really good because they have been very successful in their ports and remakes so far.
Okay.
But like in Demon Souls, the original Demon Souls, there's supposed to be 6 worlds that you go to, right?
Yes.
So some of the speculation is that since it's a remake, they may potentially put in the 6th world,
Ooh, nice.
which is supposed to be a frost, like icy giant area.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be really cool. But
That would be really, really cool. New content always in the classic is
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, it's possible. I won't say that it's like it's obviously not guaranteed or anything. There's no other news except for the trailer. It's literally
Right.
just here's the trailer. It's being remade by Blue Point Games.
Hmm.
But I wonder how close From Software is going to work with them to see if they can maybe put in some of that cut content.
That'd be really neat.
So I'm super excited about that. Yeah, you're gonna have to. It's insane to see what they have right now as far as the remake, what it looks like. It's incredible. It's incredible.
I'm very, very excited. Just Sony has the last like generation of consoles just like been awesome with what they've done.
Yeah, and some of the exclusive games I will say are actually really good.
Hmm.
Like I'm really excited for Halo Infinite for the Xbox, except that it's going to be on PC too, so there's no reason for me
Yeah.
to buy an Xbox. And that is the unfortunate issue with Microsoft with the Xbox right now is that the things that they could do to bring more people to it.
Yep.
If you're a PC gamer, you're just like I see no reason except maybe I want to go sit on my couch.
Mm-hmm. And even then, I mean, it's people are hooking their computers up to their couch for gaming.
Hooking off to the couch, you say?
Yes, the couch. Yes.
Yeah.
I have a very expensive couch. But,
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong.
I mean,
And now that wireless technology for mouse and keyboards is getting a lot better as well, you don't have to worry about that input latency that we're all used to
Yeah.
growing up.
Well, even this isn't designed for specifically being quick and highly responsive, but this is an MX Master 3.
Mhm.
However, I use it for gaming and it works just fine. So, and I would ask anyone to try and feel the latency on that.
I mean, unless you're a professional FPS or MOBA player, you're not ever going to feel latency issues.
They won't be using wireless.
yeah. I mean, and in reality,
If that's a big problem, don't use wireless.
I
Yep.
think for your casual gamer, you're a lot of casual gamers. They if they switched from like an Xbox or a PlayStation to PC, right?
Mhm.
They're probably using controllers, I would think, just because that's what they're used to. You know,
I don't know.
take Catfish for example. I mean, he prefers to play on a controller. I mean,
This is true, but he's never has he ever really been a PC gamer? Hasn't he always been more of a console gamer to begin with?
I think he started on console.
Yeah,
And
then
he-
we got Hayden here who prefers a versus a mouse and keyboard.
I started on console
I mean, yeah.
when I got serious about gaming.
I don't. Well, I was serious when when you say serious about gaming. Like, granted, my gaming experience was the same. I started on console. I switched over to PC. I found that as much as I don't mind controller, I mean, yeah, you've got the games like, for example, Tomb Raider. I won't play that with a mouse and keyboard. I think there's too much going on when it comes to different keys that the controller just fits better for that. Whereas the mouse and keyboard on other games, like for example, we'll take Halo for example. In my opinion, I play Halo with mouse and keyboard until I get into a vehicle. As soon as I get into a vehicle, I pick up that controller.
Because it drives so
Yeah.
stupid.
It really.
A lot of the hotkeys in like Halo MCC
Mm-hmm.
are garbage. Absolute garbage. They were designed by someone who doesn't play games on a computer. I think.
Yeah, they had to. I mean, You think about it. They probably took the guys that work on out of 343 Industries that were building this game for you know Xbox and on the Xbox controller. They probably said, "Hey, we're going to port this to PC," and they're like, "Okay, make it usable for PC." So that's what they did.
They're porting it all into Unreal, aren't they?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think MCC is on the Unreal Engine.
All I know is that for me, playing any of the Halo games, I have so much muscle memory with a controller from the thousands of hours of Halo I played growing up that I cannot play it with a keyboard or mouse. It's a controller game for me. It always will be. It just plays so much smoother and it feels more natural.
Okay,
And
so there's two engines, Saber 3D and Unreal Engine 4. But
makes sense.
all they need to do is add like an input that like for a scroll wheel to switch weapons.
Yeah.
That's my biggest problem with it.
You just push Y.
I had to push one or two to select my weapon,
There's your problem, man.
3 to change my grenade, and 4 for my auxiliaries, the auxiliary thing.
Yeah,
see,
what grenade change was.
I switched on my mouse. Like, I made macros for it. I was like,
And the fact that they got rid of BXR in Halo 2 multiplayer.
Did they? Oh
Yeah,
no.
It worked in campaign. Everything
BXR.
no. If you do
campaign.
if you do the Halo 2 multiplayer legacy versus the Halo 2 Master Chief Collection, if you do the legacy version, you can BXR in it. If you do the Master Chief Collection,
Oh, that makes me happy.
yes, it still works. I tested it.
That does work better on a controller.
Well, yeah. It's BXR.
Yes.
It's really easy to do.
I have a macro for it on my keyboard.
Of course.
So, does sword canceling still work in MCC?
yeah.
Yes, it does.
Oh my
Because
god. Can I just say,
the same mechanism that made BXR work is the sword canceling.
So basically with the
Can interrupt anything is what it was.
with the legacy multiplayer that they put in, all they did was legacy multiplayer, and congratulations, nothing has changed. The MCC version of multiplayer, they fixed a lot. They fixed.
unfortunate.
They fixed a
because
lot. They
I
basically.
can tell you, I spent literal hours one night, like stayed up all night, just with one other guy, that random guy that I met, and we climbed to the top of the map on, I cannot remember the name of the map at this point, but the big giant city, tall buildings and stuff.
Mhm.
Headlong.
Was it Headlong?
Headlong.
Okay, well we climbed to the top, outside of the map, climbed to the very top point of the very
cranes.
tallest building on the very outside of the map.
Yep.
I mean, we spent 12 hours doing that.
Yeah.
Just that.
Super bounces still work in the new
MCC?
engine too. Yeah.
Oh my god.
You have to fall twice as far as you did before, but the same recovery mechanism for when you would go through the floor is still there. So when you go like just slightly below the floor, it snaps you to the floor. Well, that imparts momentum, which
Boing.
carries you up. And
All right,
because it
Zanzibar wheel
pulls
jumping.
It pulls twice as fast as it used to. So it was 30 seconds on on Xbox, or 30 times a second, and now it's 60 times a second. So you have to fall twice as far to have twice the momentum to get sent into the air.
Hello, Zanzibar wheel jumping. Let's go.
My favorite was the lockout jump.
Oh yeah, lockout
I
where you get on
can't-
top of it.
I can't figure out how to get up there anymore because you have to fall twice as far. So the original jump doesn't
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, the
Yeah, well,
original. I mean, it works in the legacy version though.
I tried.
So I'm wondering
It
if
still pulls
the
at 60
old,
times a second.
I wonder if that old channel that I used to watch back in the day, Jump Tactics, is gonna come back for MCC and refigure out all those cool jumps.
I
Oh
mean,
man, I can't tell you how many times I've watched their lockout jump video to use it in my twos games, because that's what I pretty much exclusively play with one buddy was at twos, and the long jumps and the slide jumps that they teach you in that have really stepped up the game, and I mean, it's insane. You can jump halfway across lockout with one slide jump. It's crazy.
I mean,
And I never liked the Halo 3 version of Lockout.
yeah, no,
Guardian
Yeah,
is trash. I hate it.
I'm
it was
not
like
gonna.
the oil rig. It was like
Yeah, it was meh.
Technically, it was called Guardian. Like that was the technical replacement for it.
and no, that was the like the jungle one where you were in the jungle.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, they put another one in.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah,
a lot
but
closer to it, but it still wasn't
yeah.
Lockout
yeah.
It's not lockout.
because they made a lot
Lockout.
of the, like crouch jumps that you needed to do to move around, where you didn't need a
No.
crouch jump.
No.
Yeah,
Oh man,
So-
I still remember when no one knew how to do it. You'd come up the right side of the teleporter up to the sniper spot, and you could jump on the rail, jump on the light, and jump up. And nobody knew about it. And I got so many kills with that because they were just camping the sniper tower. And it was like, oh yeah, boop boop boop, shotgun to the face.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I miss that so much.
No.
That is the best Halo map ever created as Lockout. And
Well,
fight me.
I have to say,
Coagulation.
Listen, Coagulation Blood Gulch was great
Yeah.
for one specific thing, and that was Warthog Wars. Because in Halo 1, the Warthogs were indestructible, so you just flip each other insane distances, which was so much fun. But Coagulation, Halo 2, destructible vehicles makes that really bad.
My favorite game mode, I think, in Halo 3 was jousting.
That was fun.
yeah.
Griffball, though, man. Come on,
Oh, I
Griffball.
love
That
Griffball.
was fun.
There's so many people that hate Griffball.
Griffball, man. That's...
Ah.
So my
But
favorite
Tabs
would
here.
be
Tabs
Yes.
here doesn't like Griffball.
I did not enjoy
Charge
it.
your battery
Charge
pack
my
there.
Yeah. Oops.
So my favorite was
I had the
either
battery pack in it.
Zombies or SWAT as my favorite of Halo 3.
I mean, Halo 3 SWAT. I got used to it. I mean, Halo 3, all the random bullcrap that people made up for it.
Oh yeah.
Like, I had more fun doing custom stuff than I did a lot of the actual game modes.
Oh,
That's the thing. Like if you think of SWAT and zombies in the Halo 3 game modes,
Mm-hmm.
came from custom content.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
Like
It
you
did.
had to download the
From the
custom
honor
packs.
I
It was
mean,
played via the honor system in Halo 2
yeah.
because it was survivors had shotguns, zombies used the sword,
Yeah.
and if you died, you switched.
Yep.
Yep.
If you didn't, you were kicked.
Yep.
Yep. I remember
Um,
that was. Oh, and I used so many ridiculous super jump and jump tactics stuff to hide in little crevices that you couldn't get to if you didn't know them, and the zombies were just. I'd be the last person left to ever be a zombie, and they would start trying to stack on each other's heads and jump up and stuff, and I'd be like, okay, great, you're close, pop, you're dead. It got so bad that I actually ran out of ammo one game. That's because everyone died so quickly, and I was just stuck in a corner with just my shotgun. And I'm like, okay, can this game mode end now because I'm out of ammo?
Yeah.
It's gonna end with you on the end of a sword.
Yeah, basically. It didn't, luckily, but yeah, it was so much fun. And I think SWAT was a great way to practice headshots too. Like, if you could get good at snap headshots through SWAT, like it improved your overall gameplay. It was so much fun.
So I like how I just got a text message from my dentist is like, you're past due for a dental cleaning exam. Well, yes, but we've been on lockdown.
Yeah, I got one of
Like-
those too. The day after they canceled my appointment.
Like you, I mean, really, like I get it. It's just a pre-programmed system but you can't put that system on pause for what's happening. Like, it's stupid to get a text message for it.
Maybe they were out of the office and couldn't.
I mean, it's possible, but I would think something like that, you'd have like an IT person that could do remote work.
Maybe they wanted to make sure the system kept going to remind people, like, hey, you should get your teeth checked.
As soon as
Yeah.
this is open, you should get, because I got one from my from my barber. I got an email from my barber's office. It said, "Hey, we're open. Come get your haircut."
I'm still
I'm
waiting.
good.
I'm still waiting for Slump to open back up his shop.
He may or may not. He may be
Yeah.
waiting for a long time.
I'm gonna wait, and if I'm gonna wait up till my sister's wedding when I really am gonna need a
But I
haircut.
gotta get one.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna make a decision of, am I gonna ask him? The question is, am I gonna ask him about getting, just, hey man, can I meet you somewhere and just I'll pay you, and even though you're not open, would you be willing to take care of me for my sister's wedding, or am I gonna have to go somewhere? I might have to go wherever Habs went the last time he had his haircut.
Right on 57, Nick's Barbershop.
There you go.
So I
like 'em
figured
there.
close out with a little bit of D&D talk since we did mention Slump.
Yeah.
So he and I and one of his other buddies did a almost like a one-shot style session that's
Mhm.
going to turn into probably 3 overall sessions this past Monday, where using Zoom we could see each other, and then he had a tripod and a camera for the actual maps,
Oh,
physical
nice.
maps and minis, and it went pretty well. Obviously you can't touch and move anything, but
Yeah.
you just tell him where you want to go, and it works pretty well, and he liked it a lot better than any of the digital stuff.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna finish out this little like adventure that we're doing, just
Mhm.
the two of us, and then probably return to some regular sessions using that if he likes it more.
Yeah.
And he does use Zoom for it, so we can have our fancy 3D or green screened backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah.
But
But
oh, go ahead.
yeah, I go. Yeah, I'd be willing to do that.
I mean, it was pretty fun still. It lets us focus more on interacting with each other
Yeah.
because we're looking at each other, and we can, ouch, I'm really sorry about that. That was ow, that hurt my hand. We could do things like that.
Yeah.
We can do like the expressions like, oh, you get shot in the shoulder, you can react, or you can,
Yeah.
we can look at Habs's face while he tries to sing songs.
Can I sing for you?
No, you can't. Ow, really hurt.
Good thing you're not playing League today.
No, I'm playing WoW
Is
today.
is this something that is it a pre-gen world? Like, what world universe is he doing this in? Like,
Still in his world.
oh, all right.
Yep.
So it's not as light and
No.
fun. Okay.
It might. I mean, it might change. We had a. I mean, it was still really brutal. I mean, the other guy we were playing with had to open a door to stop scalding hot water from killing us as it was flooding the chamber. He had to insert his. I think he did like this into a little mechanism, and
Mhm.
it chopped the tips of his fingers off.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
still pretty trapped and deadly, but the very end was a lot of fun little tests or challenges. Like I had to beat in a mind game of tic-tac-toe, I had to beat one of their elder. And then there was the other guy plays a monk, so there was a fight challenge where he had to 1v1 a guy. And then the last challenge was an endurance challenge. These are fish people that we're fighting against. Not quite fish people, but basically. And the endurance challenge was who can sit underwater the longest. But since Vinny needed a type of character to progress,
Mhm.
we had water breathing for 24 hours. So I just sat under the water. And I had my character pretend and act like they were struggling to hold their breath, but the whole time was just perfectly fine because they can breathe underwater. So
Alright.
it was fun. The challenges were kind of lighthearted, but the dungeon itself was pretty dark and difficult.
I
So
mean, I guess with my last character change with Tarek, something like that, you know, I redesigned him and created a new character to fit his world.
right, exactly.
So, that being said, I mean, I would bring him back out for a new world, or not a new world, but a new scenario, a new, like, you know, change his mannerisms a little bit to fit this new party, this new, it being different.
I think we're just probably going to pick up where we left off for the most part.
Okay.
Except you're going to meet the two new characters. Obviously, I kind of had the same issue that you were having, Rex, with
Mhm.
the not being able to get into my character because I designed my characters for something that I could enjoy in a specific way,
Yeah.
and I wasn't getting the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
And so I redesigned the character around the world,
Mhm.
the personality and the look
Yeah.
and that kind of stuff around the world. And the first section I had a lot of fun. I'm not gonna say exactly what class this character is
Mhm.
because that's for you guys to figure out, and it's part of their their personality and part of their character.
Mhm.
So
Well, shoot.
given little hints here, but
Yeah. Well, maybe, if I'm gonna bring back out Tarek, I found a nice website online that you can pay for STL files of a little miniature that you can create. I sent Simmons I think I sent Habs
Yeah.
one time. I don't know if I sent it to you, Hickey, but if I might pay, it was $7. You design your character mini, and then you can, for $7 you can get that STL. And if that's the case, I might print myself a Tarek mini.
We do have some higher fidelity of smaller nozzles coming from the printer, so
Yeah.
that'll allow us to get much more detail in the print.
I think Hero Forge you can do that through. You can
I think
design
it
your
is.
menu through
I think it
Hero
is
Forge,
Hero
and then
Forge.
pay for the 3D print stuff instead of paying for their stuff.
It is Hero Forge. Yes, it is. That's exactly.
So one of the other things I wanted to touch base with you guys, and Simmons, you're welcome to join us at any point in time in these games, certainly. But recently and very randomly, last Friday, I think, maybe Thursday or Friday, D&D Beyond released a sub-content pack from Riot Games around League of Legends in D&D. I see your face, Simmons, but basically it's an adventure in Bilgewater. So they give you just a Bilgewater standard adventure you can play through, and they've got 3 new classes that are themed around League.
Okay.
So you can be a barbarian that gets some cool things like being able to teleport to locations, basically. You get a cannon gunslinger, basically. You can use a pistol. It's a fighter, so you can use either a flintlock pistol or a sniper rifle. Which the sniper rifle, I'm not sure how Caitlyn fits in because she's from Piltover, but you can be a fighter that uses guns, or the new rogue is basically Twisted Fate.
Neat.
It's really cool stuff. I'm looking forward to. I'm thinking about running the campaign at some point as my first DM thing.
Okay.
And it's basically the thing that I like about it is, yes, the game League of Legends can be toxic and can be frustrating. Bless you, Habs. But the lore and the world of League is so incredible that I'm super excited to be able to play through it as an adventure. Even just I'm hoping that they make it more official content, because right now it's technically unofficial content, but it's usable on D&D Beyond, so you can go in and make your characters just by simply clicking on the Runeterra thing when you're making a character. And I'm hoping they make it more. I'm hoping we get like Piltover and Zon and Demacia and Noxus and the Shadow Isles and all the other stuff because the world is incredible. And I feel like as a DM, I'm kind of uniquely positioned because I have the world lore book, the official like League of Legends Runeterra lore book
Which is
that I
so
can
good.
actually pull settings from and stuff. If we wanted to do like a full campaign through there, but I figured at least for my first DM session, we'd run through this quick little. It's designed for level 3 to 4 characters, so it'd be, it's not crazy long. You could probably break it up into a session or two if it gets a little bit longer, but um, I've read through some of it and it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat how they bring everything together. And so, I mean, if you guys are interested, maybe sometime in the future,
Yeah.
we can look at doing just that because I get why you don't like League because the game itself can be terrible, but I don't think anybody here can argue that the world that they've designed and the lore that they have is incredible.
Pretty awesome.
I mean, it's my beef with League is just the play style. You know, I can mute and I can ignore the community, right?
I can.
But I just don't. I'm not a huge fan of that play style.
Which is fine.
And I don't know if the reason I dislike that playstyle is due to the fact that, like, I went into it thinking it was going to be something else, and then I was like, oh, this isn't what I was expecting, and it just kind of turned me off to that playstyle in general, or what? But I just, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of. I think I would like it more if I had a little bit more control over my minions.
Yeah, you're looking for more of an RTS
Yes.
Yeah.
style game, and this is in the RTS genre because there is a real-time strategy aspect to it.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of controlling the minions, you're controlling the actual champion.
Yeah.
The minions just kind of do
It's
their own
kind of
thing.
like what they did. So what, Parker, you might like, as much as it pains me to say, Dawn of War 3. We have control over both a hero character and over the minions. Yes, that's Dawn of War 3's gameplay. It's awful.
But is it PvP or is it PvE?
There is a PvP aspect, but I think the game is basically dead.
Yeah.
It's a dead game, which is sad because I really wanted to actually enjoy it.
Honestly, I would just really love to have them bring back Command and Conquer.
They are. Command and Conquer Remastered just came out.
Things you learn.
And in fact, they mastered the entire soundtrack, and the soundtrack is like amazing.
Nice.
And it's like $20-$30 I think for the remaster.
My all-time favorite is Command and Conquer Tiberium Wars.
Generals for me. Generals is my.
That
That's
would be
my bay.
Your
like.
bay.
Honestly, if they just turned back on the damn servers, sorry about the language, for all of the Command and Conquer games, so I could hop online and play PC version, I would be happy. Like, I'm sorry, like my life would go to that. I would be like, goodbye everything else. I mean, I can play Command and Conquer on my computer again.
Nice.
But
Yeah, depending on how good this sells, which I think it sold really, really well, there were possibly talking about redoing the rest of the Command and Conquer series.
I would love it. I would absolutely love just like Tiberium Wars or Kane's Wrath. Kane's Wrath would be like either one of those. All I want to do is I want to play them on my PC again.
A remaster of Command and Conquer Renegade. Does anybody know what that is?
I do. I have it.
Have you played through it?
It is extremely fun. It's the first-person shooter of Command and Conquer. For anyone who's curious, you play the GDI Commando.
Nice.
What, Simmons? What was that game where we built? You would go Chrome Hounds.
Chrome Hounds, yes.
Oh, I wish Chrome
I
Hounds.
would love another Chrome Hounds.
That was such a good game.
Nice.
I think this is probably a good spot to shore it up for this podcast. This one legitimately, I saved a recording. There is a recording this time. In a couple of days, this should be put
It should
back
be
up
uploaded
on
to YouTube.
Yeah.
Might be some minor edits to cut out some of the silly nonsense at the beginning. But
providing that I set up Twitch correctly, the silly nonsense should be cut out, considering that I started a new VOD when I restarted the stream. So
remember, you had us muted at the very beginning too.
yeah.
Bye.
It's
That's
fine.
fine.
Yeah.
The VOD will be available immediately after.
Yes.
But give us a couple days to get it to YouTube.
Yeah.
Make sure we get that. Make sure we just get the best content there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I will say, if you guys enjoyed today,
Yeah.
consider following us here on Twitch. There's a link below to the YouTube channel. Consider subscribing over there.
Yep.
Even liking the content. Since we're pushing to move this towards a dual platform, just remember that the YouTube algorithm really likes subscribes and likes. So if you like it, go ahead and hit that subscribe and the like button.
And then if you think you have a friend that would like to listen to what we were talking about, or any content suggestion, send them towards our YouTube channel. Send them, leave a comment, below in the comment section for us. I mean, being so new, I'm sure one of us will read it.
Definitely.
So
we'll read through it, and any suggestions or anything you guys want to hear us chat about, we're happy to look into it and fill that for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you want us to do a little bit of fact finding for you, you want to know about something, one of us, when we get on something, we can look it up and research it, and hey, give you a little bit of info on it if you want. So cool.
Keep in mind the next podcast will be June 28th, which is 2 weeks from now, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yep. So, thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone,
Thank you.
You guys have a great day.
You
Take it
as
easy.
well, sir.
Good one.
You as well.
Peace.